You're listening to the Auxiliary Gate Podcast, Kentucky's weekly horse racing discussion. And now, here are your hosts, Alan Schneider,
Burgess Meredith, the Penguin, was in an orgy. Ugh.
the bearded handicapper, Geoff Riggs,
I was just craving some McDonald's.
and me, CC Broaddus.
We just showed up at this party and there's like 15 people just having an orgy and we joined in. And then they kicked us out because we were laughing too much. We having too much fun.
All right, everybody, welcome to episode number 251 of the Auxiliary Gate Podcast. Alan, have we ever won any awards yet?
Just the ones we make up in our own mind, I suppose.
I think it'd be cool if we could introduce it as the award-winning Auxiliary Gate Podcast.
Nominated for an Eclipse, and at least I might pay attention to the Eclipse Awards this year if you do that.
Have we been nominated?
I can't imagine we have. That would be eye-opening.
All right.
Maybe
Well,
back
it's
when
August 12th.
Jason Beam was doing the Beamy Awards, maybe we could have gotten one of those.
Yeah, that's true.
It's August 12th, 2026. Today is Wednesday, I believe, although all the days run together now for me.
Mm.
Alan Schneider's here. Say hello.
Yes. How you doing, everyone?
And I had somebody ask me about Geoff Riggs the other day and want to know what kind of person he was. And I got to thinking, Geoff claims that I've known him for 4 years now. I don't buy that. I don't know shit about you, dude. I don't know anything about you.
Yeah.
course
All
you
I know
do.
is you're a degenerate gambler.
Uh-huh.
You're hairy.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
I know more than
I
that.
mean, that's
You're
really
smooth. You're calm under pressure.
appreciate that.
And I don't know anything about you. You like Kentucky sports, I think.
Uh-huh.
You're really good at fantasy sports.
Uh-huh.
And poker, and he went to Western Kentucky, right? And
Yeah.
his parents were teachers at Bellarmine, right? And this and that, and they live out in Shelbyville. Got a farm in Shelbyville. It's like, pay attention, right? Am I close?
Pretty close. Yeah, they both went to Bellarmine. They weren't both teachers, but my mom was a teacher.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go, there you go. So there you go. Cat's out of
Sounds
the
like
bag.
sounds like you both know me well.
There you go.
Yeah, that's debatable. I think in future pods, we're going to do a special segment. We'll do a factoid of the week about you.
Oh, cool.
Okay. I got some fun facts.
Okay. Well, get ready. But we're
All
not going
right.
to do it this week. All right. All right. Let's
No,
get
you got to
into
keep the people wanting more. You got to leave that cliffhanger.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm eating my Penn Station for lunch here. Let's get into it. Big weekend at Ellis Park, of course, capped by the Ellis Park Derby. And, of course, two really nice juveniles. Salahuddin won the Ellis Park Juvenile for Bob Baffert. Manuka Honey dominant in the Ellis Park Debutante. I don't have Manuka Honey's buyer figure, but Salahuddin ran a 74.
That's
Big
all.
improvement. Yeah, big improvement, though, off of his maiden win. Going in the right direction. I don't think he beat a whole lot in there, though. Anybody want to discuss either of these juvenile specimens?
I will mention Salahuddin very quickly. I think he got knocked a little bit, but just people have a tendency to forgive and talk about horses improving off of losses. They never talk about horses that when you have a win a race, you have the right to improve off of winners too, right? He got done when he needed to get done in that debut effort, and he blew that field out. I had a feeling that might happen. And he blew that field off the track the other day. And I don't think people noticed on the gallop out, he might have been a 16th of a mile in front of everybody else. That horse was dying to go further. He might have been an eighth of a mile in front. There was a lot. That horse, he looked a little laborious, I think, in his debut. Sometimes these well-bred horses do that want to go longer. He looked sharp as a tack the other day. And to me, he's a legit player. I mean, that gallop out, and you got to take gallop outs with a grain of salt, but he was in Evansville by the time the rest of them were crossing the wire.
Yep, totally agree. I thought it was very visually impressive. You talked about the buyer numbers. I'm not too worried about that because I think it's pretty obvious that sprinting is not his game. So he's just kind of progressing to where he needs to be. And yeah, when we talk about going longer distances, I think he's as impressive as we've seen so far in this 2-year-old crop.
He wants every bit of 10 furlongs and maybe
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
Manuka Honey ran a 75, winning the debutante, the daughter of upstart for Brian Lynch. Um, Very nice performance too. Won by 7 lengths over For the Win. Uh, Filly that's highly thought of by their connections. They're going to go 2 turns with her for sure. Going to go in the Pocahontas at Churchill or go the Alcibiades at Keeneland, I believe. But Manuka
For
Honey.
yeah, for the win ran very well, I thought. That looked like a
Hmm.
two-horse race. I didn't think there was much in that race outside the top two. Manuka Honey poured it on. For the win's a nice horse. I'm sure Jeff would agree with that. He's cashed a nice little lick on For the Win, but I thought the rest of the field
Yeah.
was kind of pedestrian.
Yep. Yeah, I picked her again that day, and hey, she beat everybody except for Manuka Honey, who just blew the
Mm.
doors off of them. So, I mean, I thought she ran well, but yeah, Manuka Honey is really impressive. But as you said, Alan, I'm not sure outside of the top two finishers really what there was in that field.
Igniter won the Ellis Park Derby. Well, that 5 horse race for $400,000 is not cool, as they say. And then I
Yeah.
think they ran the West Virginia Derby same day. I think they had 7, maybe. Be nice to combine those 2 races, but we're gonna talk about the Cowboy Jones. Owen Almighty won the Cowboy Jones. I led wire to wire on the rail. Got a 104 buyer speed figure there. Horse is legit. I think he's a Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile contender for Brian Lynch
Yeah.
and the Flying Dutchman. And we talk about the Flying Dutchman in just a minute. Uh, any of these other races you want to comment on?
I'm surprised at the figure for that race. I mean, we're surprised at the figures for the other races. I mean, I thought the top three ran very well. It was a Cold Battle and the Jordan Blair horse that I like. The Jordan Blair horse,
This is Usker.
this is Usker, who
Hmm.
had a bit of a stumble at the start. Might have cost him the win. I thought he ran huge, but I didn't. I wasn't looking at those horses down the stretch thinking they were hanging triple digit buyers, but still. Top efforts by all three of them. Yeah, I thought Owen Almighty can do a couple different things. He can, like you said, he could do a 2 turn mile. He could do a mile and a turn and a half mile. He's a very good 7 furlong horse that he's proven over time, and he seems like he's rebounded nicely in his 4 year old campaign.
Yeah, I agree.
134
I
and
think he's
2.
really coming into his own.
Yeah,
They went 134 and 2. I think the track record is like 134 and 1. So about a fifth of a second off the track record.
it's that speed figure, and I don't want these people that go online and argue speed figures for 48 hours. That doesn't interest me, but that one does seem high to me. But I'm not going to knock it out. The top three ran very well.
Speaking of the Flying Dutchman, they've been busy the last 2 days. Either of you ever had Dutch Brothers coffee?
They're opening one right by the house here. My daughters are big time coffee connoisseurs, but they don't care much for Dutch Brothers. But once this one opens up nearby, I'm sure that'll change.
The
Interesting. I've never had it.
the Dutch Brothers apparently went public on the New York Stock Exchange, I think, recently. So they're taking a bunch of that money and investing in the horse racing business. They bought over the last 2 nights, they bought 11 yearlings for $21,625,000, including a full brother to Barnes for $4.2 million. How about that? I'm hoping
Wow.
Brian Lynch gets a bunch of these.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
That's yeah. Wow. Yeah, wow is the word. That's all I got.
I I don't know. I mean, seems like
Barn
we've
Barnes
learned our
up.
lesson over the years for these pricey yearlings that just don't amount to anything. I mean, the guy that owns Salahuddin Zidane paid 10
Uh-huh.
million for one. Maybe was it a 2 year old earlier in the year, and I think that horse has got some injury problems. It's just euphoria, I guess, or just arrogant money bidding
I
against
think it's a
arrogant money.
little bit like sports too when you got like these just ridiculous athletes that are like almost too athletic for their own good and they just like can't stay healthy, like a Zion Williamson or like a Jadavion Clowney or a Greg Oden, the kind of guys who are like top 0.001% athletes of all time. I feel like they all have physical issues. And I think there's a lot of that transfers to horses as well.
I would be the exception to that. I've stayed pretty healthy throughout my life, so you
Very
can't
true.
really, yeah, you can't throw me in the same class as Williamson and Greg Oden. But yeah, so your point's well taken.
Silent tactic. Any of you excuse me, either of you interested in a 50% share in Silent Tactic, the winner of the Rebel Stakes earlier this year.
Um, how much is it? I mean, I think I got $47 in my wallet right now. I've got some access to a few other funds,
You
but I'm thinking I probably don't have enough. I probably gotta go to the bank, right?
as let's see, there's one
We
more
might have to
day.
pool our funds.
There's one more day in the bidding. Wait a minute, hold on. No, I take that back. One day, 21 hours. The bid right now is $500,000.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go talk to Chase real quick, see what they can do in Fidelity. I'll see what I can do. But no, I'm not interested. That seems a little high to me. Nice racehorse, nice 3-year-old season, but how many
He's
shares are there?
they're just selling 50%
Oh,
interest.
okay. Okay.
So my guess is this horse is going to just based on who was the one we talked about a few weeks ago that sold for 2 million for Chester Thomas, our moneymaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
two
Yep. Yep.
million
Yep.
for a horse that hadn't even won a stakes yet, I believe.
hmm
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah. This one's gonna. Yeah, I think that 500 is gonna go way up from there. And yeah, and I would not be a participant.
Can I put that money towards Doncho? Can I do that?
is he for sale?
I doubt it, but I would toss in some cash for that one.
You want to talk about the Doncho?
Well, well, feel free. I thought the horse ran an amazing race. I mean, the top three all did, but yeah, horse ran an incredible race. It's worth mentioning, I suppose.
Go ahead.
I mean, I don't. I mean, everybody knows there was an inquiry in this and that in that race. It was basically a three-horse blanket finish. I, I don't have any quarrels with hanging the inquiry, so I don't have any quarrels with how it came out. I thought it could go a variety of ways. It was one of the tougher calls you're ever going to see. But all that aside, I'm not really concerned about it. I just thought Doncho ran a heroic effort, um, battling between horses, took the lead. Uh, I think you can make the argument that he would have won the race had it been a little bit cleaner run. I think you made the argument the outside horse could have won the race had it been cleaner run. But I think the thing that truly impressed me, and I know this about this racehorse, that even though he did get sandwiched and lost ground very, very late after the contact ended and he was between horses, you could see he was pissed off and came again at the wire. So, and that's hard to do
hmm
after you've been sandwiched and you're in between horses. But the horse won winning race. And the bottom line is, he ran a remarkably grade two winning representative effort of what he is, and he should find a secure spot in the Breeders' Cup turf sprint starting gate. Should everything go as planned the rest of the way, his health wise, whatever. But it's a courageous effort. I'm not going to get into all the inquiry stuff, but anybody else is welcome to.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a brave effort, like we've come to know from him. I do think if everyone had a clear path, he was going to win the race.
Yes,
Um,
that's the
I
game
I
mode.
was
Yeah.
fine. I was fine with the takedown. I thought it, as you said, it was a tough call. Could have gone a lot of ways. Now, a lot of people think that it should not have come down, which I can see the argument for that as well. But yeah, I think just the takeaway from it is just that he's as game as a racehorse can be.
Yeah, I wasn't going to argue with no matter how they actually. I do think he should have been placed up, but I was not going to make an argument. However, they decided to rule on that. I think the biggest beneficiary of the three-horse imbroglio down the lane was the inside horse, who I don't think was going to win, except for the actual winner, except for the circumstances that unfolded. I think though he was the big beneficiary of all that down the lane. CC, you got a thought?
I think the most important thing about this horse is he's learned to rate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Been saying that
That
for months.
that would give him a chance at a Breeders' Cup turf sprint because
Yes.
there's going to be balls to the wall speed. I'm sure Joe Shiesty will be in there, and you'll have Cy Fair will be in there. So yeah, if he can make it to the Breeders' Cup, he's got actual shot to be part of it at the end.
So the thing about him is, and again, he has unbridled speed. He could be the one on the lead too, but it's always a remarkable benefit if you can rate and kick out in these turf sprints. Of course, now two things have to happen. Number one, you have to have a window to get out, and number two, you can't have that wide of a draw. If you're in the side in the pocket or whatever. But that said, tractability is a major, major component when you also have blazing speed.
All right, let's get to our guest. Alan, you do the honors.
All right, thank you, CC. Earlier this year, tonight's guest made the cross country trek to Kentucky from California to further build on his stellar 20-year career that has seen him rack up over 1,800 career wins. Since his arrival here in Kentucky, jockey William Antongeorgi has booted home several long shot horses with odds longer than his last name, to be truthful. William, welcome to the Auxiliary Gate podcast.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
Well, we appreciate you joining us. I want to let you know this first and foremost. This a couple of weeks ago, I made it a point. You always been at the top of my list to invite on here, but I made it a point in particular a few weeks ago when the three of us were at a poker game with a bunch of Churchill people. You probably know some of the names, and there was some guy there who was complaining that he got beat in some race, some pick three, pick five, I don't know what it was. That he got beat by some long shot ridden by some guy named Antongeorgi or something like that, whoever that is, and he was just going on. And I just want you to know that we all jumped in. And it's like, whoa, 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 that's a big time rider that you just mentioned that you got beat by. That guy, that guy's got a heck of a career, and I just want you to know that we had your back that night. All right?
Well, thank you, thank you.
Yeah. So
But that
keep.
must have been at what probably was probably at Churchill, huh?
Yeah, yeah. It had, I think it would have been Churchill at that point. We're probably going to talk about that. I think I know the horse he's talking about. We're going to talk about that one in a little bit. Red Sun. You remember that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He's like 63-1 or something like that.
yeah.
65-1.
That's it. I have to point before I mentioned your 1,800 career wins a moment ago. I think it's 1,820 to be exact. But as I'm doing a little research on you, we want to try to get the numbers correct and this and that. I noticed a statistical anomaly, and maybe you're not even aware of it. Maybe you are. I don't know. But I wanted to point this out to the people at home and yourself included. That yeah, I think you had 12,999 mounts. You're one shy of 13,000 mounts, and you've got the 1,820 wins that I mentioned. But you also have 1,824 seconds, 1,828 thirds. That is mathematically incredible. Did you even know that you were that close on all those, the first, seconds, and thirds?
I didn't. I mean, I've glanced at it before, like on Equibase, but uh, yeah. I mean, is that a good stat? I don't even know.
Well, first off, it's a mathematical anomaly to me that you'd be that close together of this long of a career. But I'm not sure what it says. It says that you're remarkably consistent. Number one, probably also says that you try every race, I guess, too. But you just don't see that where the numbers are same all the way across. You didn't realize that?
No, I guess I've never. Now I'll have to go look at some other riders now to look at their first and seconds and thirds.
It just jumped off the page at me. And for the record, I mean, for those unaware, you were essentially synonymous. I know you're new to Kentucky, but you were synonymous with Golden Gate Fields and being both very successful there and very popular with the fan base there. I know what happened out there. It's sad. It's a travesty. It's awful. But there had to be some positive memories. I mean, I'm sure a lot of positive memories out there to focus on. You want to name a few real quick?
Yeah, I mean Golden Gate. I mean that's where, I mean majority of my career was. Yeah, I mean I rode for a lot of good trainers over there, Jerry Hollendorfer and Greg Gilchrist, just to name a few top guys. I rode with Russell Bays for years. That was always a lot of fun. Riding with the winningest jockey of all time.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, no, it was the NorCal Golden Gate, and it was good to me for sure.
How many titles did you win there? I mean, towards the end, you were racking them up, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I won. I mean, I won a handful of titles for sure. At Golden Gate, I won three or four, and then I won some titles in the summertime at Santa Rosa, at Pleasanton, at those meets too. So yeah, I was always near the top, one of the top riders there for about 15 years or so.
Um, when jockeys, we always hear about jockey races and trainer races and stuff in the standings. Are you, were you really paying attention to that? Were you like getting down three days before the end of a meet? And you're like, I want to get this title. Is it really something, or are you just trying to win whatever race you can? Or are you really trying to get that statistic at the end of the meet?
I mean, you go into every meet, I mean, wanting to win the title. Some meets go better than others. Some meets, you know, halfway through or whatever, maybe a little bit more than halfway through, you kind of know you don't have a shot. So
Right.
so then you just go out there and just try to ride each race, try to get the best results. But yeah, definitely, if you're in contention, if you're fighting for the title, then yeah, you definitely lock in, and you find yourself at home checking the wins every night, and how
What the
close am
other guy,
I?
yeah, what the other guy did that day and stuff too, right?
What's that?
And what the other guy did, your main competition, see if he got any wins that day and stuff too.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're yeah. If you're fighting for the title, those last couple weeks there towards the end, you're going in, uh, checking how many they won. Then you're looking at how many mounts they have for the following week. Yeah, you definitely you start checking it hard.
Do you with relation to the Northern California situation, do you feel enough was being done by the decision makers out there to save racing and potentially save racing in Northern California? I don't. I'm not the one to really be asking a lot about this because I don't know the situation as well as a lot of other people do. But I do know what I did read that you were quite outspoken about some things. Do you feel like enough was done to try to save racing out there?
I mean, I felt we got stabbed in the back, to be honest. I mean, Stronach was going to do what they were going to do with Golden Gate. They own Golden Gate. We knew that was coming. We knew that was coming for a few years with Stronach. But when it came to when Pleasanton um, took over the racing dates, I felt when they took over, they really stabbed the horsemen in the back because
Really?
yeah, because they basically Stronach, they had their last meet, and Pleasanton jumped in and said, "Well, we'll take over the racing dates." So then everyone moved over to Pleasanton, and that was going to be the new plan. Um, and then we got through one meet. So the meet started in November, I think. November of 2020. Was it 2024? Yeah, 2024. And the meet started, and then the last week of the meet there, it was in December. They said they came to the horsemen and said, "Oh, by the way, we're not gonna continue racing after
Wow.
Christmas."
Wow.
Um, and it was just yeah, it was a whole. Um, I mean, I could go on for hours about it because I was on the meetings and stuff because they were trying to get Pleasanton going, So we would be on the meetings like different horsemen, couple jocks. What could we do? As far as with the fans and all that, and we would give them all ideas and all that, and they would they really wouldn't take anything that we said, and it seems like they just took the money
Yeah.
and that was it.
It sounds like were. It sounds like they were trying to give you like they offered a lifeboat, and you thought that lifeboat was taking you to a bigger ship. It sounded like they just threw an anvil in the lifeboat once you got your hopes up. Is what it sounds like to me, but maybe I'm wrong. And
Yeah,
sunk
because
it.
I mean, because they did this whole deal. They moved all the grooms and their families over, and they had
Jesus,
housing for them over there. Um, I mean, yeah, we thought that we're going to be okay, and then a month later, oh, by the way, we're not gonna continue racing after. So we had like a week because racing stopped like a week and a half before Christmas, and we had like about a 2 week break. And we always would start racing the December 26th. But yeah, closing day of that meet at Pleasanton, they said, "Oh, by the way, yeah, we're not going to continue racing." Uh,
Jesus. Happy
so
holidays, everybody. Right? Merry Christmas. Right?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So happy holidays, everyone. We all had to, what are we going to do?
Yeah. Happy holidays and F you, in other words, what it sounds like to me. But
Yep,
yeah.
exactly how all of us felt.
Yeah. All right. We'll try to get this a little more positive, but I am guessing that the more perceived solid footing of Kentucky brought you out here this year, right? After what went on there out there, that's I mean that was the reason you headed out here, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, I went to SoCal for a year, because that was the closest place. Because,
Right.
like I said, we only had a week, so I wanted to continue riding. Plus, I had some horses that I was riding in NorCal that were going to go to SoCal, that I was going to continue riding. So I stayed in SoCal for a year. I ended up picking a really nice horse up in SoCal. Um, Ended up winning quite a few stakes there. So I stayed in SoCal for right about a year. But I kind of always knew that I wanted to come to Kentucky. Um, with California racing, I mean, NorCal went down, but even SoCal, it's not in the best shape. There's
Yeah,
five horse fields. There's not many opportunities out there at all. And I saw the writing on the wall. I was down there, and it was like pulling teeth, almost getting mounts. And like I said, I was lucky enough to pick up a really nice horse that I was able to win quite a few stakes at Del Mar and Santa Anita throughout the year, which kept me there probably longer than I was going to stay. Um, but yeah, yeah, I always knew that I was going to venture out because I mean the money's so good out here, and I've been out here before, and I grew up here. Well, I didn't grow up here. My mom trained horses out here when I was a little kid, so I lived in Paris
oh, okay.
when I was a little kid. So I knew the area a little bit, and then I also came back here to ride a little bit back in like 2010. So I got my feet wet a little bit out here
Yeah.
at the tracks and everything, and I liked it. So so
It's a
yeah, it
good
was
year-round circuit here, isn't it? It's a good there's consistent employment throughout 12 months here, right?
yeah. Then that's what I was looking for too. Because I have a family of my wife and daughter. So I wanted to go to a place where I know I could ride year round, where I didn't have to pack up and leave, go to another state.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, it's perfect here.
So when you do that, uh, when you make a decision such as that, and I understand your circumstances, do you have um, do you have some clients in mind? Do you have some people that you've already got contacts with? You've got a few people that you can rely on, or do you literally just start at ground zero? I mean, are you starting absolutely fresh, or did you have a couple aces in the hole?
Yeah, I was lucky enough to. There's quite a few guys out here actually from California.
Right.
Billy Morey,
Yes.
who I used to ride for. I used to ride basically first call from back in NorCal. So he was out here. He was actually one of the guys that I gave a call to before I came out. Um, just to make sure he would give me shots. And so yeah, he was one of them. And Doug O'Neill's got a handful of horses out here, um, which I rode a lot of horses for him out in California. But yeah, so I was lucky enough where there's a handful of guys out here um, that already had you know
A foothold. Yeah. Yeah. So
a consistent foothold with.
yeah, I
Yeah.
get it. I get it. So with that in mind, so you do the Turfway thing, you do the Churchill thing, you do the Keeneland thing, you get to Ellis Park, right? Does Ellis Park, and I'm asking you, I legitimately want to know because I don't know. Does Ellis Park kind of remind you of the fair circuit at all? Or does it have that vibe?
It does. It does actually. That was the first thing I said to my wife when we pulled in opening week, our first day down there. That's the first thing I said to her. I was like, it feels like one of the NorCal fairs.
It's if you haven't been there, it is unique. It sits north of the Ohio River, which is bizarre, and it's out there. It feels like farmland and stuff. So it had to feel right at home. And of the tracks that you've ridden at so far, which one do you like the best? Is it Ellis Park?
Yeah, I mean, I like Ellis. I like Ellis with the turf course. I mean, I love Keeneland. Keeneland's probably my favorite. Um, but yeah, no, I love Ellis. It's really nice. The purses are great. Can't beat the purses. Um, yeah, no, no, I love it.
I alluded to this in the opening because it's one of the things I think about when I think of William Antongeorgi these days. But at least in my eyes, you have not only assimilated very well in this jockey colony. That's not easy to do. This is a tough, deep jockey colony, uh, but you have developed a penchant for bringing in huge long shots, not 6, 8 to 1. I'm talking legit long shots, right? There's off the top of my head, there's big to do at 18 to 1. There's ring curl at 45, 46 to 1. We kind of mentioned a little bit Red Sun a few weeks ago at Churchill at 65 to 1. Um, if that's not a testament of both your ability as a rider uh, and just your talent to garner more mounts, as if the 1,800 wins wasn't enough. I don't know what is. I mean, wouldn't you agree with that? That not everybody can do that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of the new kid in town, and I'm, I'm not going to be given, the even money favorites right off the bat, so I got to go out there and basically prove myself again, in this new colony on this new circuit. So,
Yeah.
I got to go out there and show that I got it. I mean, people know me, but they I haven't been on this circuit.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys have their business already, and um, I knew that coming in. I knew that any circuit you go to, you're not going to just walk in and take all the mounts, and unless you're certain guys that with their certain names.
Yes.
Um, but for the most part, yeah, if you're a rider coming into a new circuit, you have to go out there and ride hard and make the best of it.
So one more for me before I spread the love around here a little bit. But one thing I've noticed, you tell me if I'm wrong about this, and if I am, please tell me. What I've noticed about your riding style, and of course, I didn't watch you a lot out in California. I'm pretty much a Kentucky guy, but one of the reasons you brought in these long shots, or just in general, you seem to be a very good front end rider to me. You're a good rider all around, but I feel like when you're up close on the pace, watch out. Am I close on that?
Yeah, yeah, no, I've always been given that title for sure throughout my career. A good speed rider. I think coming up I started in SoCal, and SoCal it's always been a speed um, a speed favoring circuit, so I started young, basically getting the horses into the race and um, getting position. I think that's half the battle is get the
Yeah.
horse out of the gate, get a good position. And if you can get your horse out there and get him to relax, um, you're going to be in good shape. If you can get a horse to break good, and then the second thing is to get them to relax, and then so you have a finish. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I've won a lot of races doing that.
Yeah, I just want to say that everybody hears speed rider. They automatically think the guy that's out in front by 2 lengths. Not necessarily. You can be just stalking right off, getting the horse in a good position right off the horse. Just being up there on the pace, and that's what I've noticed about you. And I'm glad I'm at least right about one thing that I kind of noticed that properly. So I'm gonna let you talk to I think CC Broaddus now. Is that cool, William?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's lighten things up a little bit. This is a question that Alan would normally ask, and I'm surprised he didn't ask it. Do you
Go ahead.
has anybody ever told you that you look like Willem Dafoe?
I
Well,
was gonna say
I
that.
was
I
just
was gonna say
I was just gonna cut you off because I get that everywhere I go. I've got that my whole life.
yes.
That's
Yep.
good then, right? I mean, he's a handsome man, right?
Oh yeah, great actor.
A great actor. There you go. If there was ever a movie about your life, or maybe a movie about his life, you could play him.
There you
Exactly.
go.
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny. No, I've got that my whole life.
I just want to say
uh,
real quick when he logged on and he had his video on, that's exactly I thought Willem Dafoe was staring at me.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
It's
thought
funny.
that too.
He does these funny like photo shoots. Willem Dafoe does. He poses funny and everything, and my friends they'll always send me his photos all the time.
All right. So back to racing. You're riding a really nice filly named Grand Slam Smile, and in fact, you've been flying back and forth to take the mount on this filly. Tell us about this nice mare, and going back and forth to California to ride stakes races for
Yeah, yeah, no, she's an awesome mare. Yeah, that was the mare that I was talking about that kept me in SoCal this last year. Um, yeah, she's great. She was the top Calbred filly back there. Frank Alvarado used to ride her. Um, before I started riding her, and she's always been a game filly. And I picked her up when Frank left the circuit. and I started working her, and yeah, we hit it off, and um, we won a handful of stakes there at Del Mar last year in Santa Anita. Yeah, she's awesome.
Last seen running fifth in the Great Lady M. That was a grade two at Los Alamitos. That was a really tough race. Do you know what the immediate plans are for that mare?
I'm not sure. I'm actually just waiting to hear what's next from the trainer. So from Sean,
Yeah.
but I know he's at Del Mar now, so I'm sure he's going to pick out a race um, at Del Mar there.
Yeah.
Probably in a Calbred race. She dominates the Calbred races. I'm not going to say unbeatable because we've got beat a few times, but whenever she's in those Calbred races, she's super tough, and she can go short, she can go long, she can go on the dirt, she can go on the turf, down the hill, So yeah, she's as game as they come.
When you fly into California, like you, probably, I'm guessing you'd only have one mount on the card. Is that an issue for you at all? Just to have one race on a card and you have to wait all day before that race comes up?
No, not really. I mean, I just fly in. I can just focus on her. Um, it tends to be a long day just waiting around, but you know, I, I I get in there and I just relax and, like I said, just focus on her and get out there and get the job done. It's a lot. Like I said, a long day. I usually leave. I get up here probably around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning here, and then because then I I drive up to Cincinnati and I fly to Cincinnati, um, and I catch an early morning flight. I think I usually leave around 6 out of Cincinnati, and I land in LAX, and then I drive over to San Anita. So yeah, it's a long day, and then I'm usually back here. I get the red eye that night because I'm usually riding here the next day. Um, so yeah, it's a long day, but I mean, she's worth it for sure, especially
Oh
when you
yeah.
go out there and win a stake race.
You better believe it. Yeah, no doubt about that. So, yeah, you rode July 4th, and then 2 days later you were at Ellis. I mean, how long does the jet lag take to wear off?
Yeah, it's funny that when I know I'm riding, it's like I don't know, my body. I don't get bad jet lag. It's like I know that I have to continue to perform, so it doesn't hit me as hard. But on the days that I'm coming back and I know I have a few days off, I feel like hits me harder. It's weird. So I usually come back, and if I do have a couple days off, I'll come back and just crash. But if I do have to ride, like I said, it's like my body knows, and I just keep going.
You rode a Turfway over the winter. What kind of
Yeah,
shock to the system was that going from sunny California to the Winter Olympics up at Florence?
yeah. It's funny because when I left SoCal, I left California right at the end of January, um, and it was like 80 degrees there,
Oh,
and I drove across, and it was right when that storm hit. I got here right when the tracks were closed for like 2 weeks. So yeah, I drove in right at the worst time. Um, and yeah, it was definitely a shock. Like I said, it was 80 degrees there, and then I get here. Um, I remember one of the first mornings I worked at the Thoroughbred Center. You know, I had some winter gear, but I didn't have the best winter gear yet. So I was bundling up, and yeah, it was definitely a cold one.
yeah. So, you'll travel to Ellis. I'm sure you ride at Horseshoe Indianapolis. I mean, there's a lot of driving involved in being a jockey around here. I mean, you could be going 2.5 hours, 3 hours, depending on where you want to go. Is that similar in California, or I mean, do you ride alone, or you ride with somebody? How do you navigate those travels?
Yeah, a lot of times my wife and daughter will come with me. So at least I have my co-pilots with me, so that makes it that doesn't make it as long and tiresome, you know. But yeah, no, a lot of hours on the road. It's a little different than California because in California, we're mostly at the one track. You know, it's the one circuit there. You know, it's either Santa Anita or it's Del Mar. Um, so there, it's far less driving. Because there too, it's like I said, it's just Santa Anita. There's San Luis Rey is open for training, so sometimes you go down there and work horses, which is like an hour and a half away. But you'll do that very seldomly. Whereas here, I mean, you're on the road every day. You know, you got the thoroughbred centers open. You got Turfway. Um, you got Indy, Churchill, Keeneland. You know, there's so many tracks that are open that you can be working horses at any given day. So, um, yeah, definitely a lot of time spent on the road. But I like it. It keeps me busy for sure.
Have you ever ridden at Kentucky Downs?
No, this will be my first year.
You looking forward to that?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Okay. Do you know if you've? I know it's way too early, but I mean, has anybody hinted that you would have some mounts at that track? That's like it's like a month away, 6 weeks away, I guess. I know.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, I already have guys that I'm riding for. I already hear them talking about
Okay.
certain spots that they're gonna be putting their horses in. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll be there.
Good deal. Good deal. Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. I know you've probably ridden on that hill, the downhill turf course at Santa Anita. I'm sure this is kind of similar to that with the ups and downs of the turf course.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I've ridden the downhill quite a lot, and yeah, that's what kind of people tell me about Kentucky Downs. It's a little different. You know, you got some turns and stuff, which I'm looking forward to.
I'll ask you. I don't get a chance to talk to a lot of California jockeys coming down that hill at Santa Anita. That apparently it's not a big deal. I haven't seen very many spills on that turf course. Coming down the hill, I assume that's not a big deal to you guys.
Yeah, no, I mean, we definitely catch speed going down there. I mean, if you check the times out, they come smoking down the hill.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess if you think about it, you'd think it'd be more dangerous, because we're barreling down that hill and we're crossing the dirt and then back on the turf. Um, yeah, I mean, I know there has been some spills. Some guys have gotten hurt coming down there, but yeah, I mean, I haven't seen too many spills down there. I mean, I
Um,
love riding the hill.
yeah.
Especially on Grand Slam Smile, I've won quite a few stakes
Yeah.
going down the hill with her, and it's really fun, especially if you're on a horse that likes it.
Yeah. No doubt. Okay. Let's turn it over to Jeff Riggs.
All right. William, Alan talked about your consistency in first, seconds, and thirds, and overall, you've just been remarkably consistent throughout your career. When I've just been looking at the numbers, I mean, you've been doing this for 20 years now, and I mean, you have a stretch of about 15 years where you've been between 15 and 18% win percentage. Like, that's a really great percentage, and the consistency is almost unheard of for that kind of amount of time. I guess just what do you attribute your consistency to?
Yeah, I mean that's cool to hear. I guess I never thought about it. I just I just wake up every morning and just do my job. I
Hmm.
just that's how I look at it. I'm doing what I love, and um, I just wake up and uh, just get out there and do what I love, and you know, uh, you know,
Yeah, I mean,
chasing the thrill of it.
yeah, yeah. I think we've already seen that mentality from you in Kentucky too. I know it's it's tough. You already talked about being the new guy in the room and how you got to pay your dues to get on the. You're not riding a lot of even money favorites right now, but just like if you just look at like your ROI numbers when us handicappers look at that kind of thing, like you are getting the most out of your mount. So you're obviously still riding at that level, and I'm sure that percentage is going to get back up here too as you get your feet on the ground. Um, I guess going back to the beginning though, how did you like originally get interested in horse racing in general? I know your dad was a jockey, right?
Yeah, yeah. My dad was a jockey, and my mom she trained too. So I was always around it. But when I first started riding as a teenager, well, before that, probably when I was 9 or 10, I started with the show horses,
Hmm,
show jumping and all that when I was younger, and then I competed and did that for up until I was about 17, 18, and that's when I made the transition full time to the racetrack. I started galloping horses one summer, and then like I said, then just made the transition to be a professional jockey, and I never looked back.
nice. Do you remember your first career win? I know you've got 1,800 of them at this point, but do you remember that day and do you remember the feeling and what horse it was?
Yeah, yeah, it was my first mount ever at Hollywood Park.
That's a great way to start.
Yeah, yeah, it was the first mount that I ever rode. It was at Hollywood Park. Um, the filly's name was 5 o'clock.
Hmm.
Um, it was for Paul Aguirre. Um, and I'll never forget it too because I lost my stirrup. I lost my outside stirrup,
Oh man.
like 2 strides out of the gate. I lost my stirrup, and went to the lead and rode the whole race with one stirrup, and
Whoa.
ended up winning the race. And yeah, it was a pretty eventful first ride out there.
Man, so you kind of had the whole roller coaster that is horse racing and the world of horse racing and that in a microcosm in that first race there, you break 2 strides out of the gate and you think oh man, I'm probably not going to have a chance here, and then you go and end up winning the race. That's pretty cool. That's a cool story.
Yeah, yeah. I remember. I still remember it to this day. I remember breaking out of the gate, and um, my main concern was I was thinking to myself, "Oh shit, I'm gonna look like crap." I'm bouncing
Right.
off the
Yeah,
saddle.
everybody's watching, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. My first mount. You want to go out there and look good, and I just remember it was my first thought. I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna look like crap out here," but and I ended up winning the race, and it was kind of mixed signals at first. Half the people were like, "Oh, he's not ready to ride," and then the other half of people are, "No, he freaking he won the race with no stirrup,"
Yeah, the skill that
So
it takes to do that. Right, exactly. That's the other side of the coin for sure.
yeah, yeah, so yeah, it was definitely eventful.
When you first got started in your riding career, were there any jockeys that you like looked up to or had as like mentors when you were first starting out?
Oh man, yeah, Mike Smith
Hmm.
was a big factor. Uh, Corey Nakatani, Garrett Gomez, Alex Solis. Um, there was quite a handful of guys there when I started riding that were Hall of Fame guys, that I really looked up to and that helped me out a lot
For
um,
sure.
when I started there. Yeah.
Hmm. Did you have previous relationships with any of the Kentucky guys when you came here in the jocks room, and like how's that transition been?
Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know too many guys personally on the
Hmm.
personal level. I knew well, Abel Cedillo, he's here. I rode with him for years in NorCal. Um, so yeah, so Cedillo, who I've known for years. Uh, one of my buddies, I don't know if you know Chris Landeros.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I've known him for years. I guess he's taking a break from riding right now.
Hmm.
He's still out in the mornings working horses. But I've known him for years. But for the most part, yeah, I don't know too many guys on a personal level. Like I said, I'm the new guy in town, and
Hmm.
but I mean, everyone here seems to be cool, and um, everyone's seems to be professional.
Yeah, yeah, got the professionals. It's you mentioned the big purses in Kentucky, and that that draws the best of the best, and the that professionalism's there for sure. It's a tough colony, but you obviously fit and are doing very well to this point so far. Um, Before I kick you back over to Alan, what's your most memorable win of your career so far?
Oh man, my most memorable win. Um, I'd probably have to say that first one was probably pretty memorable
I
without the
would say
stirrup.
so. Yeah, just
Yeah,
telling me that story, it sounds like it would be for me.
yeah. I mean that's definitely gonna stick in my mind forever. And then probably my first graded stake up in Canada when I went up there uh, with a Northern Causeway. I won my first graded stake.
Hmm.
That one, and then
Yeah, that's got to be cool.
yeah, and then all the ones with Grand Slam Smile. They're she's always fun to ride. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, Cece just gave me a nudge that he's got another question for you, so I'm gonna kick it back to him real quick before we go back to Alan.
Okay, sounds good.
Hey, I got one more question. Now you are known as Billy the Kid, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, Billy the Kid shot like four people. Have you ever shot anybody?
No, I have not. I have not shot anybody.
What have you done to earn that nickname then?
I mean, I guess it just stuck. I think I can't remember when it started. I can't remember when it started. I think
I
it might have started when I was show jumping. The guy on the announcer used to say, "Well, Billy the Kid." Um, but yeah, I mean, everyone just kind of called me Billy the Kid. It just always stuck.
That's a great nickname. I'm jealous. That's all I got. So I'll turn it back over to Alan.
It's not fair that you have a great nickname and a great last name.
That's
Like
true.
most people don't have
Yeah.
either one. You got both. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get Billy the Kid trademark? Because I think that Billy Lanane over in England, I think they call him Billy the Kid. It's like, hey, hold the phone, buddy. I was Billy the Kid first, right? Did you know
Yeah, yeah.
that?
Hold up,
Yeah.
hold up. I'm American. He's American. Hold
Yeah,
up.
exactly. Yeah, it's
I mean,
like,
I got a Billy the Kid tattoo.
oh, really?
Yeah, it was my first ever tattoo. It's two like two pistols with Billy the Kid on it. So yeah,
You need to sue his ass for copyright infringement. That's the way I see it, all right?
I know. I need to.
Look, two quick things for me. Number one, there was a couple weeks ago I was in Florida. I was on vacation, and I was looking at the card, and I was on a horse I loved, and I think it's called Red Rainbow. And you gave the horse an amazing ride. I thought you won the photo. There was a steward's review on a inquiry. They didn't put you up, and you don't have to comment if you don't want to. But I thought that was bullshit. I thought they should have put you up, right?
Yeah,
You,
I thought so too. I thought that was a slam dunk that I was going to be put up.
yes,
Because I mean, not only did she come, I forget, what's her Summer? Yeah,
yeah,
she shaved me in the turn, uh,
yes.
straightening up for home, and then she came out, and then I had to veer off course, and only got beat
D
a
dirty nose.
nostril.
the
Yeah.
head
Yeah,
bobber. Yeah, yeah.
and yeah, I thought for sure I was gonna be put up. Anytime that I've ever been in something like that, I've been put up. And yeah, they didn't. They kept it up, and I was in shock.
So you agree with me on that one, or I've had a feeling you might have, because I thought that was a no-brainer. But you live and learn, right?
Yeah, I
Um,
mean it's horse racing. I
yeah,
mean, you see crazy stuff all the time. You just
yeah.
gotta roll with the punches.
Roll with the punches. All right, we'll
Yeah,
keep this. How old are you? 38? Is that what I read? 38?
39.
39. Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, San Francisco Bay Area there, you know. You got a lot of sports teams. You got the 49ers, you got the Warriors, you got the Giants. Were you fans of any of those guys?
Well, I was always a big fan of the Chargers because I
Very
grew up when I first moved to California. I moved to San Diego,
gotcha.
so I was always a big Charger fan. But yeah, my wife's a big Niner fan, so we used to go to games and stuff a lot out there.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah,
And there's also, it's a big music scene out in San Francisco. That's where these guys are probably dinosaurs to you. So Journey's from there, Eddie Money's from there, Night Ranger, the Grateful Dead, who sucked. A lot of people seem to like them. Was you in any of that stuff, or some younger bands, or some younger bands from out there too? If I'm not
yeah. I mean,
mistaken.
Metallica's from out there.
Metallica, that's what I was forgetting. Yeah. So
Yeah.
is that a big thing out there? Is the music scene that cool?
Yeah, I mean, I've been to a handful of concerts out there. I mean, I can't go to too many just because my
Yeah.
work schedule, but
Right.
um, who did I see out there? I saw Motley Crue out there.
Awesome.
Motley Crue, Poison.
They're great. Poison's great.
Yeah, yeah. Um, who else did I see? I think those are the last. I never saw well, I saw Metallica in San Diego, um, back when I was like 15. That was pretty cool.
That's
Uh,
the that's the way to do it.
yeah.
That's the way to do it. Yeah, I envy you then because I don't. I know what I've seen a lot of people on day have not got to see Metallica, but I'm not haven't kicked the bucket yet. Maybe I'll get there. But William, we appreciate you joining us this evening. It's been fantastic. We think you're here to stay. I assume that's the plan is to stay for a while.
Yeah, yeah, no, I moved my family out here, and that's the plan. We're here to stay.
Yeah, and I think with the continued success, this year-round racing, I think you're making a name at every track you go to and stuff. I think we're going to have you here for a long time, and we look forward to it, my man.
Yes, sir. Me too.
All right, thank you for joining us, William.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Watch Ellis Park this weekend, hopefully, if the weather doesn't get too out of hand. Jeff Riggs will be manning the booth. Joe has had enough of our hijinks. Jeff, you're going to be the Captain Kirk to our Starfleet Enterprise. Is that right?
That's
Is that
Yeah, yeah,
okay?
that's exactly right. Yeah, no, Joe's taking some well-deserved time off. I know he's got some things he's got to take care of, and as Alan said, he's the ultimate point guard. So I'll try and do what I can do to step in there. But thankfully, I've got you guys by my side as well to hang out. So I guess really, at least for a weekend, the auxiliary gate takeover has actually taken over.
Yeah, it actually feels official now. But if you're Captain Kirk, I'm like a Huru or one of those ensigns in the red shirts that get killed that you know are going to die, right? That's those that hands that the three main characters go down to the planet, and then the one poor sap who you don't know the name to in the red shirt, and he gets shot and killed immediately. That's me. That's me.
I
CC is
want to
me.
be I want to be Bones. Damn it, Jeff! I'm a doctor, not a handicapper.
That's true. That means Jet Riggs is going to be bagging all those space alien chicks, right? With the green chicks that uh, William Shatner always bagged, had like four breasts and two asses and stuff. That's where he gets. He gets all that
I
alien.
don't I don't think that was on Star Trek.
Yeah,
You're
it was.
watching Cinemax or something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the alternate version.
yeah. He got the purple ones, the green ones, the yellow ones. He got them all.
Last thing, Sovereignty won the Whitney. Is he back?
Yes,
Yes.
he is absolutely back. He looked awesome, guys. He looked like sovereignty to me. He hadn't looked like himself for a little while, and this race looked like what I think of when I hear the name sovereignty. So I'm extremely excited about his prospects moving forward. I think he's back.
Yeah, I think that's very representative, and I think maybe people can pump the brakes a little bit on magnitude and buys, which I kind of felt like they all should have anyway. I was like, I may have mentioned you. I was like, people are really going gaga over that Stephen Foster race. It's like that magnitude won. Nothing against magnitude. I thought he was by far the best horse in the race, but sloppy going. Light Barrial doesn't fire. 5 horse race. Baeza stumbles at the start. Sovereignty is just running around the racetrack. It's like the race was kind of handed to him. Now that is that he also went over to Dubai and won, but I thought Magnitude might be getting a little too much love, to be honest with you. And I thought that maybe the tepid 9 to 5 that he went off in the actual Whitney may have represented that or whatever. I didn't think he'd run that badly, but maybe it's because he had to go head to head with nitrogen and couldn't get the lead from that horse from that gal out of the gate. I don't know, but it was a really bad effort by Magnitude.
There should be a matchup coming soon between him and Forever Young. I think it's going to come over from Japan to run in the Jockey Club Gold Cup at the new Belmont Park.
Hmm.
I
But there's
think I read that race is going to be on a Friday.
oh,
Thought that was kind of odd,
hmm.
but
They were supposed to meet the Classic last year, right? But I think Sovereignty skipped it, correct?
right,
Yeah.
right, yeah. And the word was he was sicker than everybody thought, so he had been off a while. And I think it took him a long time to get back to normal.
Yeah.
But
Horses have a right to improve off of so-so efforts. I mean, they're not machines and stuff, so he finally did.
all right, I think that's enough for this week. Thanks to our guest, Billy the Kid, William Antongeorgi, of course, Alan Schneider, Jeff Riggs, and cast of thousands all over the world. I'm CC Broaddus reminding you that gambling money ain't got no home. Good night.